Well, this feels good. We haven't done this in a while. How we getting on, lads?
Well,
All good.
End of podcast. So today I'm the second most handsome Gerard here, and we're joined by Gerard Walsh, Irish filmmaker, extraordinaire, unreal lad. How are you getting on, man?
I'm all good, man. How are you? Thanks for that lovely introduction. I
Well,
wouldn't accept the mantle of fourth place, but we can share it if you want.
see, that's for you. Yeah, looking at your stuff recently, getting ready for this, I'm like incredibly impressed, and congratulations! You after getting the was it something and Joe's free gaff? What's it called? Darren and Joe's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, no, it's cool to have it on the player for the nation to watch or whoever else wants to watch. I think it's worldwide on the player, but yeah, no, it's cool to have it.
Yeah. And how long have you been a filmmaker then? Ooh, how long have you been a filmmaker?
I'd say coming on nearly 12 years, maybe a bit longer. Just I don't know what that was like. Yeah, about 12 years. Started kind of when I was 18, maybe a bit longer actually. Yeah, maybe 14 years. Fucking hell. But yeah, no, it's just since then I went to Ballyfermot then, and then kind of just since then I haven't really stopped, Just
Yeah.
kept work.
And then you're after managing to get a show with RT. Was that just like announced today? Because I seen everything about it today.
It was yesterday. It was announced a while ago, but only released yesterday. So it was announced maybe like the name was only announced a week and a half ago, but they started because it was literally only finished last week. We only finished the actual the final grade and everything last week. And the final mix. So it was a fairly quick process. We finished it 2 months ago, and we were told that we had it maybe 4 months ago. So it was a quick enough turnaround. But yeah, it's out since yesterday, and it seems to be getting good traction, and everybody seems to be liking what they're saying. So hopefully we can get like a full TV show out of it, because it is for the player at the moment, but we really want to show what we can do on a massive budget, but not massive, a bigger budget than what we had.
Yeah.
what's it been like working with RTE, man? Because we've heard different opinions from different lads on it, but what's it been like for you? Have they been okay?
Yeah, they've been really good. Like it's been fairly handy. Like we presented them the sketches, and then they had some notes. There was some sketches that weren't working. There were some sketches that were, but me, Joe, and Darren kind of sat down and just we all kind of took a script each, and we all had ideas to put in because we knew that we could write for each other. And I know what they like. The thing is, when if I'm writing a script or whatever for them, we'll all sit down at the end of it, read through it, and then make our notes, and we know what's going to work for each other. But some scripts, some ideas just weren't right for the player at this time. But that's fine. Like we weren't expecting all of them to just be. We weren't expecting to just say yes to everything. Like, but we were surprised by how much they did say yes to, and didn't give us any kind of grief about any of the sketches. So that's pretty cool.
So handy enough. So
The which
I said so handy enough.
Yeah, handy enough. Yeah, like yeah, really easy to work with, and I was surprised as well, like because it's a big, it's the kind of TV station, like and I would expect a lot more kind of input and stuff, which there was great input, but it wasn't intrusive or anything. They knew what we were doing, and they kind of trusted us, which was great.
I'd say Darren is an interesting guy to work with. That's one funny fucker.
Oh, really? Have you worked with him? Have you?
No, I've just seen his stuff. Like,
oh, okay, yeah. No, he's even like it's the same as like he is kind of like the character that he does on on his videos. Like he's very like that, but he knows he's like that in person. But that he knows. No, I don't even know if but sometimes you play it up and he'll play the character a bit more. And sometimes you don't know if he's still in character or if he's just taking the piss or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, he's sound. I have a lot of time for Darren and Joe as well. Like they're good crack, and you're never not laughing, whether it's an awkward laugh or an actual belly laugh.
Yeah. So you've been behind all of the sketches that they've been posting.
Yeah, pretty much all of the ones of since the first one with the two of them. So like, the flying one,
Dude.
where he jumps up and flies away.
Yeah,
But
I seen that in like your director's reel. Yeah. So what was it like with Al Foran, man? That guy could do every voice, and like most recent sketch with him. What was it? Doing like exorcism with him,
yeah, that
dude.
was he's it's just everybody comes in very professional. Like we actually had a bit of a crew for that one. Usually I'd shoot them myself. We had a crew on, had a cinematographer and a sound guy and makeup and stuff. So and we shot it in the White Moose Cafe as well, like in Charleville Lodge. But yeah, Al just rocked up. We kind of we had an idea of what the sketch was. Darren had the idea of him being possessed by the impressions basically, and we didn't really run through it until I was lying in the bed under the covers, and we were just kind of like, how do we get into it? What's the first impression that we do? And we literally just worked it out there's no script, so we had to work it out on the day, and that's what kind of came out. We just needed to figure out a reason for him to do the impressions, which is the most important thing. And then the lads just improv the whole thing, which is usually the case. But with the show, they didn't improv it. There's some moments that are improv, but with RTE we couldn't really improv stuff because the scripts needed to be approved and passed through legal and all that stuff. So it's a bit more freeing to just kind of to do improv, but it's a bit harder for me because I have to edit it. So, and it's only one camera, so you're kind of trying to make up little bits that you missed if you're shooting one camera and it's not scripted. Don't know what the question was, but did I answer?
It was just what's your name, but sure, man. Yeah, fun.
That's the nature of it, man. Like you say, I might ask you how you're going on, and we could go on for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It was all improv.
Yeah.
And RT was like, we need some concrete.
Well, I mean, I think that's the main thing with that is you need like there's trust there from RTE, but with improv it could literally go anyway, like, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
So the flying sketch had the premise. He went up, but after he went up, we didn't know where we were going with it. And then it's the same thing with the Exorcist sketch. He was getting possessed, and Joe was going to jump out the window at the end, and that was all we had. So we just had to fill in the gaps, and the lads are fucking unbelievable at improv. So yeah, it wasn't too difficult to get there, you know.
Yeah, well, you made a whole series out of it.
Yeah,
and yeah, okay, yeah. So with those guys, they've been easy to work with. They're funny fuckers. On the editing side, like, it must be a nightmare with all the improv. Like, meh.
It is and it is and it isn't, because again, if I'm shooting it, I'm taking in what's going on. So I kind of making mental notes of this is what's going to happen. This is like I know when I have like a specific line that I need, and if it goes the right way, like, yeah, it's like it's not fine, but it's manageable because they're short enough, and I think they trust me enough to know what to use. You know, there's never much kind of notes from the lads when I send them the first draft. So it's we're all kind of on the same level when it comes to the humor and how it's supposed to go. What takes are supposed to be used, you know.
So this is a lot more professional now, but how does it compare to your first project?
My first ever project?
Yeah, sitting there at 18 with a camera thinking Quentin Tarantino and the boys.
Well, that's what, like, when I was 18, I didn't know. Like, I think the first time I really thought of doing film was when I was 17, because I was doing animation in Ballyfermot at first. So I was dead set on becoming an animator, and I thought that was the way I was going to end up working for the rest of my life. But I figured out that it wasn't really for me because I just don't like being told what to draw, and I found it more interesting to tell a story rather than draw the story because it took too long. But yeah, the first thing I made was a friend of mine running, and I thought it was really cool because I put like Kasabian over it. And I was like, that's pretty, yeah. But from there to now, like it's just I always notice that after every year there's some sort of an upgrade or some sort of a shift in the way I do things, and I learn more. I learned, like, I used to do a lot to try to make stuff look really fancy or real cool and shit, but now it's more stripped back, and I try to just use more of an old school way of making films. Like, I don't need to have weird kind of transitions or mad camera moves. It's literally just about putting a story together and telling it as well as I can, you know.
So who do you take inspiration from?
There's a lot of filmmakers, like the usual would be Tarantino and Scorsese. Obviously they're up there, and Spielberg and stuff, but there's like other filmmakers like Steve McQueen. I don't know if you know Steve McQueen. He did 12 Years a Slave.
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
So his fourth film is called Hunger, and it's that kind of slow pace. Everything's just told really slow. There's no rush to get it done. Now that's obviously a different kind of genre because it's drama, like hard hitting drama, as opposed to comedy, which I honestly didn't think I would be doing comedy at this. Like I would be doing comedy at all. Like I just thought always it would be drama, but I think having fun with the comedy really just shifted the way I wanted to make stuff. You know, I still would love to end up making a lot of drama, but for now, comedy is fucking it's where it's at.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, you talk about like these serious guys, and then you're making like some funny like sketches. It's a bit of a difference.
Yeah,
Is that what you want to keep doing, or do you
yeah.
want to
Like I'd love to like eventually you get like I'd love to go back to do drama, like, and I think I will. Like there's short films that I'm going to be doing soon, and I have a lot of feature ideas that have been started and stuff. So I don't really want to tie myself down to anything. Like if I can have the opportunity to make a comedy or a drama or a comedy drama, whatever, like I'll do it. Like as long as I can put my own kind of fingerprint on it, I suppose I'll do it. And I just love making stuff. So if I have an interest in the story, I'll try to tell it. You know.
Yeah, it's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's. I think if you just stick to the one thing, it's great. Like that's cool. But like, there's so much to experience in making films that there's no point in tying yourself down to the one thing.
Yeah. And are there any people you want to work with in future, or?
Yeah, I want to work with everybody. Like,
I said that, and that's such a fucking broad question. Is there anybody out there in the world that you might want to work with? Yeah.
Yeah, like wish list. Like you'd want. I'd love to work with like Tom Hardy or fucking Tilda Swinton or whoever is just at the top of their game. You know, that kind of actor wise. But like more realistically, there's a lot of people that I still love working with, like John Connors and stuff. That are Irish actors, and there's like so many people that are coming up at the moment that are just unbelievable actors, and crew as well. Like there's like Ireland is producing some of the best filmmakers, and if I get a chance to work with any of them, it'd be fantastic.
Because there seems to be like a lack of Irish content, especially films, from what I can see coming out of Ireland, like kind of big budget stuff. It's more like on the lower level.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any particular reason for why that is, or?
I'm not sure. I think it's just, well, the pandemic obviously had something to do with it, but usually the budgets wouldn't be massive for over here. But I think with Kin coming out, that might start to change, because it has got a lot of eyes on it, and I think showing off how well they can shoot they can create that story and how beautiful they can make it look. is really going to open the door for other people to tell stories like that.
Yeah. It's always weird when you see people outside of Ireland making Irish stuff. What was that one recently, Thomas?
Oh, I can't remember. It was something.
Wild River or something.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked
awful.
god awful.
But the thing is, it's that's made for an American audience. It's not made for Irish people.
No.
Because I think that's what, like, that's it. I don't even think that American people think that that's how we speak. I think it's just, well, I think they do, but I think the producers or the directors know that it's not going to be made for the Irish. I think it's made for people that think that that's what Irish people are. I don't know if it's offensive or not, but I don't know. Is it?
No,
like,
I don't think so. I mean, you're
I'm
Irish
not-
talking
I'm
about
not
Irish
offended
people.
by it, but I don't know if you're allowed to be offended by something like that. Yeah.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
It's Christopher Walken doing an Irish accent. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah. Or offensive.
Yeah.
Hard to put your thumb on that one.
But I was gonna say something now. I can't remember what. There's also a group going around online blocking all the Irish people, and they're like making really shitty.
Oh, the Celtic films.
That's it. The Celtic films.
Yeah,
Going around
until you said that, I didn't realize what it was that everybody was complaining about. But it's just banning Irish people, is it?
They're banning Irish people, and then they're making really kind of stereotypical kind of. Here's Thomas, and he enjoys the potato Guinness, leprechaun, St. Paddy's Day, green. You know, like
that's such. Yeah.
Also, famine. You know, just everything you could possibly think of. Irish stereotypes, man, is what they kind of do.
Definitely a leprechaun in there, isn't
man.
It?
Is the Guinness one even a stereotype? Most lads like just go out for a pint of black.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was out in Galway for the first time ever, and I was swimming in the stuff, swimming in Guinness. Like, you're going after it. You're an exception because you don't really drink, but the other Ger here, I reckon he's had his fair few Guinness pints.
I've had, yeah, but I wouldn't be a mad drinker now. But I've had me fun back in the day. I have a child now, so I kind of don't want to wake up too early and feel that dread of a hangover looming while my 4-year-old is jumping on the bed, you know.
Leave the hangovers to himself, man. Actually,
and my hangovers don't usually kick in till around 4 or 5 o'clock. Like that's when you start to feel it. Like I can kind of get through the day until that, but
that sounds rough.
It's just not worth it, you know. It's just not worth it. The hangover.
You said he was 4, right? Want to hear a fun?
No, she's 4, yeah. Maybe.
She's 4. So, do you want to hear a fun fact about the drinking age in Ireland?
Okay, go on.
It's that it's actually you're allowed to start drinking from the age of 5 in Ireland with parental consent. It's an actual rule in Ireland.
For parental consent in your own home, you can drink from 5
upwards.
Yeah. Where's this? This is like in the Constitution, or do we have what's the?
It's in the Constitution. Yeah,
we did a show one day.
Doing
a show one day, and we started talking about it, like, oh, it's so weird, it's so old in the States, and then we looked it up in Ireland, and we're shocked.
Is it just public knowledge? Like,
we had to look it up.
I don't think so.
I thought France was like you can have wine at like what?
Yeah, but that's in like public spaces and shit.
But like any drink you can give your 5-year-old.
I wouldn't put them on vodka straight away. I would normally wait till 6.
Do alcopops. Give the child a wicket first.
All right, this video is getting taken down. We do not condone underage drinking.
I do not give my child alcohol.
No,
yeah.
God, no. They're only 4. Come on.
What
is he? He's not an animal. Give it at least another.
Grow up.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's one of those weirder ones. Yeah. Speaking of mad stuff, you did a bit of work with Paddy Slattery.
I did, yeah. I did. I shot Paddy's short film Sojourn. I was a cinematographer on that. But we've been, the first time I met him was on a music video that he was producing in I think it was about 11 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. But he's some man. He's an inspiration is what he is, because what he's been through and what he's accomplished is just unbelievable.
What, paralyzed at 18, 17?
17, I think it was 17, yeah. And just like I think he's lived longer in the chair than than Walken. You know, like it's just
Yeah.
madness. And his outlook on life is just, it's commendable.
Yeah. When he came into our school, I'm pretty sure you were there filming that day.
I think so. Yeah.
That's the moment that I said I wanted to try do stuff with film, and but kind of the reason I ended up in fucking Maynooth, doing media now, because yeah,
I'd say there's a lot.
I blame him.
Yeah, I'd say
Basically,
there's a lot of people that can blame him.
yeah. No, but like he's such an incredible guy when he was talking. So I was thinking, geez, that sounds like a good old time for someone who doesn't have the same disadvantages as him. Like it must be fucking easy. And then no, I'm
Well,
sure you
him
could
that
tell us
I
it's not
said-
easy.
You can tell him that I said that he has to come onto the podcast and reunite, which is
Oh, yeah.
for Instagram if you want.
You may
Come
put in
on,
a good
Paddy.
word for us, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, he doesn't seem to, after the 12 kind of daily messages, get on, just kind of seems to ignore us now. But
He's going on to, he went on to John Connor's podcast there. I think he's doing that just to annoy us now. That's all.
unbelievable.
That's it. So what? Just so I have the clip. What does he have to do?
What does Paddy, you have to come onto this podcast. The lads are brilliant, and you've already given them a talk, so you'll have to come back and reunite with the lads. You have
See that, man?
inspired these two lads to create. Now it's
Right.
time. Now it's time to reunite.
Yeah.
Right, man. We also just recorded one there for The Rock as well.
Dwayne, listen. Dwayne,
Dwayne and the boys. Yeah.
stop the rapping. Just come on this and have a chat.
I have an actual question, but like, fuck. What did it take for you to get this as your full-time gig? And how long has it been your full-time gig?
It took just non-stop working, really. It's like not saying no to much. Like I wouldn't have done a lot of refusing work. Just anything that I could get my hands on, I was doing it. Just to learn, and it didn't matter what it was, you'd still learn something new. I think the most I've learned was really in the first 2 or 3 years outside of college, because I started doing nightclub videography. I was doing it like for 50 quid, and then I was delighted when I got me raised to €100 like per video. Like I was out from 11 o'clock to sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'd get home and I'd edit the video that night just to see, that kind of way. But I was always learning different, like at that point I was learning transitions or different kind of effects to use that I never use now. But now I know that I wouldn't use them. But it's nice to have that in your bag if you ever needed it for whatever. But it was all just about kind of learning composition, learning how to deal with people, especially drunk people. Like if you can deal with drunk people, you can handle actors no problem. Like, just literally just taking everything I could get my hands on to shoot and create stuff. That's what got me as a career.
Is there anything you went and did and weren't proud of? Like anything you were like, I probably shouldn't do this in the first place, but the wallet's getting thin.
Nothing too severe now. Like the stuff that I regret doing that I wouldn't share, just because it's just not like it just didn't turn out the way I wanted, or the clients weren't great or whatever. But yeah, no, if it's not shared on my social medias or my Facebook, then it's something that I wouldn't be too keen on, that kind of way. But other than that, like I don't think there's anything I'm ashamed of anyway.
Any weird moments on set?
Oh geez, I couldn't think of anything else. Oh, actually, yeah, on the show, the first day of the show, if you look at you'll spot it in a couple of the wide shots, but if you look there's a table in the middle of the flat in the gaff, and if you look at one of the legs, it's bent, because the first day I was kind of looking around, blah blah blah, and there was 2 stands, and I didn't realize that both my feet were caught in them. So as I took a step, it was like something out of the WWE. Like I literally just dove onto the table and just smashed the whole table. Like, so we had no table to replace it, so it had to stay there.
Oh,
so just
God.
take the table, and it's just there wobbly for the whole thing. So if you look at it, you'll see it's got a bit of a bend on the old leg there. But that was the first 5 minutes, and by that point Joe had already hit his head off a light, and we were worried about him having like a little cut, whatever. So it was a bit of a weird omen, but it seemed to work out in the end, you know.
That's pretty rough. It was hardly the haunted one, was it?
The haunted? No, that was the show.
Oh, it was a show.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it was a full crew of people that saw me dive through a table.
Yeah, you try to convince them all, like, yeah, I can do this. I'm a professional. I can work with RTE.
Yeah.
Boom.
Shin is still sore from it. It's still hurting.
Yeah,
But there's no lawsuit. It's all good. I hope I can say that on this stuff.
I'm sure.
I'm sure I can. I'm sure it's okay.
You have the head of RTE man fucking gun to your head. Go on. Tell him about season 2.
Is there any word for season 2, or is it just season 1's out? We'll look at it now.
Nothing just yet. It's only the 2 days, so I think we have to see how it performs, and then we'll figure out. Then it'd be great to get another season. But I've been pushing for a Christmas special, but I don't know if they're gonna bite on that one just yet. I think it'd be great to have like Joe or Darren dressed up as Santa Claus or something. I don't know what it is, but if they go for it, I think we can make something really cool.
That could be something. Yeah.
We want to do a Christmas single at some point as well, I think.
Oh yeah.
We nearly did it last year, but we backed out. I did one with Joe. Staying at home for Christmas, which was pretty good. I he just wrote it like 2 days before we shot it. Like they're very, very, very talented lads.
Seriously, I mean,
No, they are.
Like Darren, man, I don't want to he's a great comedian, man, but a hell of a boxer, I must say. The lad can throw a punch and he can
roll on the ground very well.
Seriously, man, he goes to the deep in it, and I haven't seen anything quite like it. Batman boxing.
I remember
seriously
commentating over it at the time. I was like, Darren Conway gets him with the left and drops him. But it's because he sacked Al Foran.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those lads
were how well choreographed that fight was. It was like something out of WWE. It was
choreographed.
It was.
What do you mean it was choreographed?
I mean, it's real. Of course, it was real.
Yeah, sure.
Ricky Hatton was
drama.
An eyewitness to the reality
they got
of the whole thing.
by Dana White.
Yeah. So I mean, sure, he's literally, man, Dana White, man, he's literally getting in there with McGregor next time. So
how crazy is that, though? That your man Steve-O, Timothy, went from posting a video of himself playing a culty whatever on Facebook, managed to set up a massive charity boxing event, and then managed to get McGregor involved in the second one.
Well, we'll see if it happens. He said that the last time as well.
Yeah.
I actually did the documentary of Steve-O back in the
Yeah, he was talking about you, man.
Oh, he was on this, was he?
We've had him on a couple of times.
Okay,
He's a good man. Steve-O's he's a fucking
dude,
hard worker, man, and seriously, he's
the first time he was on. Episode comes out. A couple hours later, he puts up something saying he's not going to do Farmer Michael anymore. He's quitting. And we uploaded that the same day. So we're thinking what did we do?
Yeah.
No, but it was seriously freaky.
You should have put the tagline, "This is why he quit," or "Find out why he quit."
I was more concerned if he was okay.
No, that was a weird one, man. It came out and then he said he quit, and then said he wasn't quitting. Had him on again, and this time we had him on with Roxy. And so I think he was in a much better place. And then we had him on just before he had the boxing match, and we've yet to have him on again. We'll probably have him on again before the next one, to be honest. But we're very close to him. He's a great man. Seriously, really good guy.
Still love talking to the fucker.
Oh God, yeah.
There's just something about these comedians. They're funny. Would you believe it?
Man. Something about him.
No. Yeah. What was it like doing a documentary with him?
Yeah, it was cool. I thought I was just going to do a promo on him and what he was doing, and then it kind of I didn't know any of the story. And when I first interviewed him, it just kind of, when he told me on camera for the first time what the whole story was, and I was kind of taken aback. I didn't know. Wasn't expecting to hear what had happened. But yeah, I just, from that first day, I was like, this is more than just a promo. It's it has to be an actual story. I have to tell the story and do it justice, that kind of way. But yeah, it's unfortunate because it wasn't really seen too much it hasn't really been spread, and then the TG Car version was out and stuff, so that one kind of got lost. So I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't mind seeing it being put up and shared, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of sitting there now at the moment on a hard drive. But it'd be cool to get it to put it up somewhere.
Could you put that up, or is it like, did TG Car have rights to that now or something?
Oh no, it wasn't. It was that's the TG Car one, and this one is separate. Like, so.
My bad.
I think I'll just text him and ask him to put it up. I think he's just, I don't know why he had to put it up. I'd say he's just waiting for a good time to put it up.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's just shit, is it?
Is it? I'm sure you've had the moments. We've had them ourselves, but no one ever talks about them. When you work really hard on something and it just fucking flops. Have you had a few of those moments?
Yeah, there was something last year that I thought was it was viral. This is gonna be millions of views. We were gonna be on Ellen with this fucking thing, and nothing happened. It was like, I got a couple of thousand views. It was I wanted to set up a fake chance encounter in Temple Bar. So the webcam that's focused on Temple Bar. I was watching. I just happened to see it one of the nights, and I realized the audio quality was really good. So I was like, it'd be cool if somebody was singing what's the Fairy Tale of New York. If somebody just started singing Fairy Tale of New York, walking down the cobbles, and then somebody else joined in, and it would be a lovely moment before Christmas. And I was like, that's perfect. I got a friend of mine to do it with another guy that sings. We did it. We planned it out. I went home and I recorded it on the laptop while they went in. It was a whole operation. I recorded it on 3 different devices just in case. And then I was like, don't tell anybody. It's you. Don't share it. Just let it happen, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be viral. Everybody's gonna want to share this. And then we posted it and nothing. It was just like, just died on its arse. But I think it turned out well. It just didn't get the attraction that I thought it could have. It would have been a nice little pick me up from COVID, I think, if it did catch on, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think we always find it's always the things you don't expect that seem to do very well. We've had a couple of weird podcasts that tend to do very, very well, like, and then ones that we think that are like, say, like the Carol Baskin episodes. I don't think it probably did as well as it could have done, but sure, like, you know, it's always cool chatting to her and hearing that she didn't kill her husband or killed her husband. I don't know, man. She can't really get her story straight sometimes, but anyway.
It's her own fault. We got her on at a time where everything was boring for her.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's opening up to do interviews again. Tiger King season 2 hasn't been announced yet, and it's before this whole thing she got going on with Netflix. So it was just like radio silence. We're like, oh, what a brilliant time to talk to Carol Baskin. Anytime when you're as small as us is a good time. But if we had done that like this month.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. Yeah. Did she know? She knew about season 2 anyway, did she? When you were talking to her?
She did. She said, aware of it. She said something, and then we asked someone else from the production if it was true, and they said BS. We asked. No, what did she say, Thomas? She said that if you were involved in season 2, you sign off your rights to do interviews or talk about it after.
But like we're good friends with one of the lads actually on the show, John Rinke.
John Rinke.
And he worked with Joe for years. He's the guy with no legs.
Okay, yeah.
We're good friends with him. We chat with him regularly, kind of thing. And,
is that from the show or just before? Or you just do him?
It's from the show.
Everything is after.
Oh, everything. We started this after that whole thing came out, you know. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, he's getting on day after Tiger King drops. So we've this whole thing now. We have to binge watch it in one day and start the interview after.
So he's gonna be. Is he on? He's in season 2, is he?
And he's in season 1. Yeah, he's he just worked with Joe for for years actually, and he's one of those guys that say he should be free and all this shit.
But he's going to be very relevant in this one because for some reason, he wasn't allowed to speak in court, but he has all this contrary evidence towards what's going on with Joe. So he's kind of like that piece that could get Joe out.
Yeah. So the end, because I watched it feels like it was 20 years ago with lockdown and everything, but it was 2 years ago, and Joe went in was it for plotting against Carol Baskin?
It
Wanted to,
was
have her killed.
supposedly to send someone to kill her, to assassinate her. And John's saying that he actually never did it. He never actually told him to kill her. And it was like he told him, he paid the guy to leave the place.
Okay.
And then Carol's saying, no, he sent me to kill me. I'm in danger. My husband's dead. All this kind of stuff, man. And
Didn't kill him.
No,
didn't kill him. Tigers weren't there, man.
By his own hand.
I've never seen a big cat kind of thing, you know, all this kind of stuff.
she was interesting.
She was very interesting to
Like,
talk to, man.
Walked away from that thinking, oh Jesus, she didn't kill him. She gave good reason and shit, but like while after, I'm like, man, I don't know.
You need to be going after OJ Simpson. I think you get OJ Simpson on the podcast. I think you will.
I've never thought about that.
In the universe, you'll definitely get the juice.
Let me write that down somewhere.
You ever see that clip? Or he said he did an interview and he said he doesn't like actually going to California anymore because he's afraid of seeing the person that killed his wife. And there's all these like memes of him like looking in the mirror and then shitting himself. It's like it's a fucking dumb man. But I don't know if I'd ever have him on, man.
Yes, you would.
You have to.
All right, now do you know I would probably maybe have him on, man, but it's this whole thing. It's like he definitely fucking did it.
Yeah,
you know,
wrote a book called "If I Did It," and he detailed how he did it.
Yeah, like if I would have done it, wink, wink.
That's what it is. Like, and they were going to release it and everything. I don't think they released it, but there's a book of him detailing how he did it, fictionally, allegedly. Sorry.
Made up story of how my wife died, kind of thing.
I remember seeing an interview someone did where they're like trying to get him to say he did it.
Oh yeah,
so he kept going on like, so what if you did do it? Okay, let's just say you did it. Yeah,
it's an odd one, man. I don't have to think about that much because, like, you don't know. And that's the thing. Same like Carol Baskins, man. You just never know unless she actually comes out and say it. Like, she's the only one that actually fucking knows. And maybe Don Lewis, you know.
And if you think you have it figured, there's also like bias in there. Like, are you just looking up shit like if she or like evidence that she did do it? Like, there's a lot of evidence that she didn't do it as well. That's the big problem, and that's what she really harped on about for a while, which is fair. Like, what her husband, he didn't have like a proper pilot's license. Mm-hmm. He didn't know how to read or write, so he couldn't have passed the exam to get it. So she thinks that his son gave it to him, just to be like, "Oh, here's sound, Dad," and because he didn't have a proper license, he had to fly below the radar. So, 200 feet?
Yeah.
And he'd
like going into the car park when you're on your provisional, is it?
Something like that, yeah, pretty much, man.
So
driving around Duns kind of thing, you know.
Pretty much.
Getting eaten by tigers.
So three or four times he'd actually crashed a plane.
Yeah.
And survived. And she just reckons that the fifth one would have killed him. But Seth actually always talks to the police. She gave in any evidence she had. But then you look at like what he wrote. In the case of my death or disappearance. Yeah.
Maybe he just really hated her, like, and he wanted to, in case he did die, he was like, fuck her, you know, that kind of way.
Well, they're apparently getting a divorce as well before he died. Like, he was about to, like, his colleague said, oh, he was about to divorce her, and you know, oh, I'm gonna divorce my wife, and next thing you know, man, you never see him again.
Yeah.
You know, last conversation you have with a guy is, I'm gonna go tell my wife I don't want to be married to her anymore.
He also had a restraining order on her.
The last thing you do after telling your lawyer is tell your wife that you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So exactly. How would she know that was when it was all gonna happen? Am I defending Carol Baskin here? Maybe.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Those school cats.
In her defense, though, like with the whole restraining order thing as well, they lived with each other for a substantial time after that happened. It was never enforced, and he didn't want it enforced. So it was just kind of a thing on paper.
Yeah.
Like, he was suffering from dementia pretty badly at the time. And people who were able to get money out of him were taking advantage of him. And that's her side of the story. But I look at it more like okay, there was some dodgy shit happening both sides because he also wasn't a very fucking good person.
Yeah.
But maybe she might have killed him. So who's worse?
Actually, a friend, the guy who did the sound on the show, is I don't know if he's done it or he's going to be doing it. It's gonna be like a movie of Tiger King.
Really?
It was already cast and everything. There's some of the SNL cast and stuff in it, but he was doing sound, and I don't know. I think it was being shot over here. Like,
all right,
yeah,
that's cool,
like
man.
a proper Tiger King movie.
I remember everybody saying as soon as it came out that they'd make a movie about it.
It should have been done by like Seth,
Yeah.
like or Judd Apatow.
Fuck, that'd be funny. Could you imagine Seth Rogen as a tiger? Or like fucking have Chris Pratt just play everybody, man. That shit's ridiculous.
It's a me, Mario. That's not the voice.
It's a me, Garfield. Ridiculous shit, man. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Can I ask, since we're talking about animated characters, like Garfield, why did you go away from animation? It was just you couldn't fucking stand it?
No, it was just it just took a long time to, like, you'd want to make a stick figure walk from here to here, and it'd take like a full day to animate that really badly, like, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's when I clicked that, like, I didn't want to have to put all that effort into making one guy walk across when I could just film a fellow walking across in 5 seconds. So I guess I think it just triggered something to be like, I'm what's the word? I always forget this word. What's it when you can't wait to do something? I am
excited.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like when you fuck, I literally forgot it in a different podcast that I was doing. It's the exact same word. Fuck. I'm
sure.
No, it's gone.
OCD.
It's gone. I'm gonna have to put it into the comments again. But I want to get stuff done fast, basically.
Yeah.
Impatient.
Impatient. That's the fucking word.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was impatient. So I wanted to do it quicker, and I found out that film was the way to do it. I never really I just always liked watching the behind the scenes of movies and watching and listening to the commentaries and stuff, and finding out what went on behind the scenes and stuff. So I never really thought that I could translate that into anything until I picked up a camera and did it, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went into animation having never done anything with a camera?
No, I had, like, my dad had a digital camera that I would have played around with, like, on holidays or whatever. But other than that, I never made anything. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I never really made any kind of movie or any even home movie or whatever.
I always find it kind of like interesting when people go to college for one thing and like do nothing with it.
Yeah,
like
I left 6 months in and I got a job, and then I wanted to go back to when I saw the course, I was like, I'll go back like next year, but they didn't accept. And now I don't know if it's because I was shit, but I took it out. I took it as they want me to prove that I can come back, and I made sure that I went back the next year, and I brought in like phone photos. I thought they were brilliant. I took them on my phone. I thought these are fucking cool. Like, I put like really over filtered them, brought them in. And your man was like, "What's this? Like, this is shit." He didn't say it was shit, but in the nicest way possible, he said it was shit. And then he gave me a week to come back and show him that I could take proper photos, basically. And when I came back, I had taken real dark images of myself, like self-portraits with light. I actually lit the shots and made them all black and white because I thought like it would be pretentious enough to get me in, like, you know, and it did, so that was cool.
that's kind of ooh, that's kind of cool. Fucking stuttering something awful today.
But I had always, like, I was working at Marks and Spencers, and I was always like, no, I'm going back to college, and they would always say, no, you'll get used to the money, as in like get used to getting minimum wage and fucking serving people for the whole time. Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just something that I was never into. Like, I wanted to work for myself, and that was them saying that to me made me want to do it even more and kind of prove them wrong. Like, So as soon as college came along, I fucked off and just started my own little career.
Yeah.
Have you gotten this far with it? She's fair
Looking
fucks,
forward to it,
man.
Seriously.
Well, it's already loads happening, but hoping to God you get the Christmas special. That could be interesting. You seem too excited for that.
It could be cool. Any ideas, throw them out.
Of course.
I'd say if we do get it, maybe four sketches we can do, but let's push for it. And then we want 6 seasons and a movie.
Jeez, who could be a good Grinch?
I'd say we could get probably Al to do that.
Joe
Rooney. He can do everything. Joe Rooney.
Yeah.
Have you had Joe on as well?
We have.
I seen him this weekend. He was performing at an old event I went to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's in South. He's in the feature, the second feature film.
Yeah.
I seen him in trailer. Yeah.
Just before you said a Grinch, man. There is no one else in the world that could pull off the Grinch as well as Michael Salmon. The lad was born for the role.
Michael Salmon can do anything.
Michael Salmon.
Michael Salmon.
Do you know who he is?
No.
Remember the Hardy books? Salmon.
Oh fuck yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Michael Salmon. That guy just got married. He just got married. He did he had 2 ceremonies. One was in Mexico, I think, because his girlfriend must be Mexican, and then one over here. And he was doing like shows in between. He's mental. We were supposed to have him in for a chat radio, and instead 2 of the lads went out in his place. Or there's supposed to be 3 of them. Two came out because they were like, "Look, if this guy gets in here, it's gonna be covered in puke and Guinness and barely get him out of bed." So yeah, I was missed out on that interview, but sure, the crack was mighty. Yeah.
Seriously, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Anyway, Jeremy,
yeah, I kind of paused on that one.
Time, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, want to appreciate you coming on today, man.
No,
we're looking forward to the future work, man. Seriously, you're up to some great stuff.
Cheers, man. And have a look at the show. Make sure you have a look and see if it's any use, and if it is, just give it an L share.
Yeah, of course.
We'll give it a touch. But again, thanks a million. This took fucking ages for me to set up this camera. My normal camera.
Larry, get back on to the lads.
That's
and
it.
On the fucking show. I'll try to get Darren onto you as well.
Oh man, we've been trying to get on to Darren. The lad's busy, is what we've heard. Basically,
Man's is busy. He sent there was one time we were emailing people, and we sent out an email to him, and we got like an automatic reply. It was like, inbox is like packed. Like, get back in 2 or 3 business days. Like, Jesus, it must be pretty fucking bad.
When was this now? Was this a couple of months ago?
Oh no, I'd say maybe 1 month, just after the Surf Zero thing, but right before his podcast took off with Mary Lou. Yeah. So just around that time.
Around that time is when we started filming. So I remember he did say he turned off his email for a week or 2, just so he could focus. So
our timing.
Don't take it personal.
No, we don't, man.
Get Joe on as well. Joe's good crack.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I was trying to get onto Joe actually today. I was looking him up. I couldn't find an email for him or anything, but
I will get something on him.
We'll get something. Yeah.
But anyways,
for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, we got this far. Crack was mighty. Tried to get set up initially. This fucker broke. So
show us the camera that you're filming on.
I tried to. This fucking thing was broke, and I tried to like pick up this camera to be like, "Oh guys, look." Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, we good crack. Just a quick little thing for our patrons, the sound individuals who support us. How are we getting on? Thanks a million, and we got plenty coming up now. I think we've something like 3 or 4 podcasts just today. So tuning them out. Gonna have some ones on Patreon early, so stay tuned. Keep an eye out. If you want to join our Patreon, link below, and we have a fairly long list of everything you get if you join. So thanks a million for your continued support. Thomas, you have any words?
Love you. God bless you if he's real. Hydrate, stay safe, keep her handy.
That's it. All right, take it handy. Good luck, and bye-bye.